Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and you know Andy's in the studio with me.
Oh, Michael, it is finally feeling like wintertime around here.
It's getting a little chilly.
It's beginning to feel
Not feeling
like Christmas.
Oh, great. Here we go.
We live right near Christmas Town, USA, bitch. And lights is already up everywhere. Jeez, God.
Seriously. Interstate 85 is going to be backed up for miles.
The traffic!
The real Christmas lights. Tail lights.
The real Christmas lights are tail lights, people.
Exactly. Oh, we're talking about a small town today, though, as well in Wisconsin. Probably not quite as small as McAdenville, but somewhere around there, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to how small this Wisconsin town is. There's a quote later on by one of the judges in this case about Wisconsin, and I was like, man, you're not that old. I think you need to remember your history, man. There's at least one other guy who's worse in this state's history.
You're missing one key guy.
At least one hungry fella who's a bit worse.
Right. Rhymes with Stommer. But no, today we're talking about a 2018 kidnapping of Jayme Closs, which also involves a horrifying double murder that honestly is the stuff of nightmares. I'm not kidding. As well as a young man who was on a mission to find and kidnap a young girl. And when he saw Jayme, he knew she was the one. He just shows up at her house, shotgun in hand, and basically does the unthinkable, really the unexplainable. Even he was unable to explain reasons, at least, you know, justly.
Yeah, not real explanations, not real reasons for doing this other than just, I felt like I needed to.
Pure definition of senseless murder right here. Let's roll it, Andy.
All right.
County 911, where is your
The defendant rammed the bathroom door over and over before he was able to break through the door Denise had barricaded shut.
Judge, this is the statement of Jayme Closs. Last October, Jake Patterson took a lot of things that I love away from me. It makes me the most sad that he took away my mom and my dad. I loved my mom and dad very much, and they loved me very much. They did all they could to make me happy and protect me. He took them away from me forever. I felt safe in my home, and I loved my room and all of my belongings. He took all of that too. I don't want to even see my home or my stuff because of the memory of that night. My parents and my home were the most important things in my life. He took them away from me in a way that will always leave me with a horrifying memory. I have to have an alarm in the house now just so I can sleep. I used to love to go out with my friends. I loved to go to school. I loved to do dance. He took all of those things away from me too. It's too hard for me to go out in public. I get scared and I get anxious. These are just ordinary things that anyone like me should be able to do, but I can't because he took them away from me. But there are some things that Jake Patterson can never take from me. He can't take my freedom. He thought that he could own me, but he was wrong. I was smarter. I watched his routine and I took back my freedom. I will always have my freedom and he will not. He should stay locked up forever.
All right, so let's start off with a little history of Jayme's parents. James and Denise Closs were actually married in Las Vegas. They went to Vegas to get married.
Ooh,
yeah,
little Whitechapel.
June 9th, 2003, way back.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, 2003. And just 2 years later, they completed their family with a little girl. And they, by all intents and purposes, they were a happy family. James loves sports. He was a huge Green Bay Packers fan. Of course he is. They live in Wisconsin.
Just
I haven't
fucking
mentioned that
cheeseheads
yet,
up here.
But they do.
It's Wisconsin.
That's right. They live in Barron, Wisconsin. But yeah, huge Green Bay Packers fan. He liked watching football games with the fam. And Denise was a green thumb who loved being outside. She loved gardening, and she also taught religious studies at St. Peter's Catholic Church.
Okay.
Yeah, but that evening, the family was winding down in their home, a ranch style in Barron, Wisconsin. Barron is a small town, very small, population under 3,500 and mostly surrounded by forest.
Damn. Yeah, I was like, that is a village. That is
Pretty
tiny.
Safe place, though.
Normally you would expect, yes.
Yes, very safe. Barron hadn't seen a murder in several years and only 4 in the past 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, not a lot of stuff going down there.
And usually not because of crime, so to speak. Usually, unfortunately, like domestic accidents or domestic disputes or something like that.
Second degree type stuff. Yeah. But little Jayme, as she was growing up, she was a happy, active child. She loved jazz dancing, spending time with her family. And at the time of this event, she was in the 8th grade at Riverview Middle School, where she played volleyball. Now, speaking of that night, it was Monday, October 15th, 2018, just after midnight. Jayme's father, got up from bed after his daughter came to tell him that their dog, Molly, was just barking incessantly. James looked outside and saw a car was in the driveway, but with no lights on.
Mm-hmm.
He got a flashlight to try to see what was happening, and then he heard someone pounding on the front door. He goes to the front door and he screams, "Show me your badge," because he assumes that it's a police officer. Denise and Jayme could sense that something was wrong, and they went to the bathroom and barricaded it with a cabinet drawer while hiding themselves in the bathtub. And just moments later, they heard a gunshot. James was shot through the small decorative glass window of their own front door.
Mm-hmm. The guy didn't even get in the house before he started firing.
Oh, no. Shot him right through the door.
As soon as Jayme got up to the wall, to the door, this man fired through the door.
Absolutely. And then he aimed his shotgun at the doorknob and blasted his way into the home.
It very much feels very professional, almost very like when you imagine this scene going down. It's very like almost No Country for Old Men type situation.
Oh yes,
of just this knock on the
very
door,
straightforward.
Knock on the door, get the guy to come to the door, shoot him through the door, then shoot the lock off the door.
Yes.
Like I said, it seems very professional, almost like a Taken situation to an extent.
It does. He just didn't have one of those old cow punchers.
Yeah, the fucking cattle gun thing.
I don't know why that's so much worse.
Right, yeah.
Oh, God.
Or and he didn't have the silenced shotgun that he has in that movie where it's just...
Oh, no. But a lot of people bring that up when you search in this case. They're like, no one heard these shots. And it's like, these people lived out in the country. Mm-hmm. For all intents and purposes, there was a pretty good distance between them and their neighbors.
And you also have to remember, this all everything happens right here happens in less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
He does
4 minutes and some change. Yeah.
He does all of this. He does the entire crime and leaves the premises in less than 5 minutes.
Exactly.
So the cops are on their way in that 5 minutes too.
Yes, because Denise had brought her cell phone into the bathroom with her when she ran in there. She dialed 911, but right after the dispatcher answered, Denise barely got a word in before you hear basically it sounds like a lot of commotion, and it's got to be the door being broke down, and then you hear her yelling, and officers were immediately dispatched to the location of the call at 2018. Mm-hmm. That wasn't hard to do. And like Andy said, police
because she left the phone on too.
Yes, the phone on. And this 911 call is on YouTube. It is chilling. I may have used it in the intro. I don't know. I always make the intro after we record. But if not, you can find this on YouTube. But police arrive only 4 minutes later. They find James deceased in the front doorway with a gunshot wound to the face. And further into the home, they saw Denise deceased in the bathtub, also with a gunshot wound to the head. However, there was no one else in the home. Molly, the little dog, was cowering alone in the corner, and the house officers started to look around. They quickly found some family photos, and they saw a teenage girl in them, and also found a teenage girl's bedroom that was empty, and quickly realized somebody was missing.
Mm-hmm. There's a third person who's not here.
They also realized there's no weapon here.
No.
There is no shotgun here.
But there are shells.
There are. Now, the sheriff gave a press conference later that morning to notify the community of Jayme's disappearance and the murder of her parents. With a 13-year-old girl missing, the community was really starting to freak out. So they immediately took it upon themselves to start organizing searches, combing through fields, forests, all the local neighborhoods. And authorities were asking residents for tips, anything they knew, report suspicious behavior, or if they seen anything that night. And there was even a $25,000 reward offered for information that leads to Jayme's return. Now, in Barron, one of the things they're known for is their factories. They have a couple big factories. One of them is a turkey factory.
Turkey factory just sounds totally different now.
Yeah,
It's a turkey factory.
It's
right?
a turkey factory.
It's like the hot dog tree from Pee Wee Herman. It's a hot dog.
You know.
They make turkeys in this factory.
Exactly. The Jenny O Turkey Factory has 1,800 employees, and at the time of her parents' deaths, both of Jayme's parents worked at the factory for nearly 30 years. So the turkey factory matched that $25,000 reward, and so now it became $50,000 for any information. They were not messing around.
No, and again, like I said, this crime scene looks almost professional. It does not
It's
look
terrifying,
it does not
dude.
look like a domestic dispute or like a burglary type situation gone wrong. This
Right.
looks like a professional abduction from like
This is like-
traffickers almost.
Yes, this is worst case scenario. Someone pulls up in your yard at night, dude. Absolute worst case scenario.
There's no arguments, there's no shouting through the door. There's
No.
literally just your dad.
I think he does say open the fucking door or something like that, and that's it before he fires. He gives him, he doesn't say anything other than that.
Yeah, he's acting completely on impulse.
He is. So at this point, authorities were tracking down every lead, every little bit of information they got, and they had over 2,000 tips, but so far none of them were panning out. And it was October 29th, 2 weeks after Jayme was abducted, when finally a man was arrested in connection to the crime. Kyle Jankianis.
Jankianis.
Damn Jankianis. But he entered the Closs home shortly after 2:30 a.m. through a patio door. And motion-activated security cameras that were set up by the police, thinking that the person would return to the crime, actually caught him sneaking into the house.
Or that maybe, she might come back. Like if she
exactly.
escapes, she might try and go back home.
Exactly.
They need to have cameras to see if she comes back.
Very true, very true. They're watching the house either way. But yeah, the cameras caught him entering and exiting the home. And when he tried to sneak out, he was immediately picked up by the police. They asked him what he was doing, and he said he was just taking items that he thought, quote, nobody would miss. What were those items? 2 girls' tank tops and a pair of underwear that belonged to Jayme.
Oh, dude, you used to creep.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Like it's not that I totally condone crime or thievery, but it's like I can totally understand.
He has a legit excuse.
I'm just
you
saying,
haven't even heard it yet.
I can totally understand the type of buzzard or whatever that's just like, hey, that ain't nobody in that house no more. I mean, they ain't gonna miss nothing. They ain't gonna miss that TV and
TV.
It's like kind of those things.
Radio, maybe a game console.
Yeah, there's some jewelry in there.
Maybe a nice painting.
But nah, you're just a creep. Come on.
Yeah. He said he just wanted to know what size Jayme wore. That's all.
What? What? You got more? We got more questions now, man. You got way more questions.
So he could find her. He's helping find her. There are interviews of this guy on YouTube, and that's what he says. One of the things he's like, I just get so pissed off when I hear that people took kids, man. I just want to hunt them down and find them myself. I'm like,
to what? Get exchange notes? What are you trying to?
You took a pair of her underwear
and 2 of her tank tops. Yeah, I should know what size she was, so to make sure that she would fit into the stuff that I got for her.
Creep.
Yeah, dude.
But look, as creepy as it is, he had nothing to do with it.
No, you made the police actually have more questions.
He's just an annoying red herring in this whole story. I'm sorry I brought him up, but it's just funny.
He really is. He definitely was for police too.
Yeah, he was, and he wasted a lot of resources. He really did, but he was cleared of all involvement. He just worked at the factory that the parents worked at, the turkey factory, and that's how he found out about it. Yeah, so he didn't know them or anything. He wasn't even friends with the family.
No, like I said, just some buzzer, like I said, some little vulture or whatever that was like, oh, there's an empty house.
Yep, he's just trying to pick what he can. But finally, on January 10th, around 4 p.m., Jeanne Nutter was walking her dog in a development of cabins near the Eau Claire River. Now, this was rare for Jeanne because normally she doesn't go to her cabin in the winter. But that year, she decided to, and it was a good thing she did, because she saw a young girl walking around in the snow who looked malnourished with matted hair. She was wearing no coat, and her sneakers looked way too big for her. So Jeanne approached her, and the girl told her, she said, "I'm lost. I don't know where I am. I need help. I'm Jayme." Mm-hmm. And despite the fact that they were in Gordon, Wisconsin, about 70 miles east of Barron, Jean knew exactly who Jayme was because she had seen and heard all the reports of the missing girl. Jean took Jayme and they walked to the nearest house where Kristen and Peter Kasinkas lived. And when Kristen opened the door, Jean said, "This is Jayme Closs. Call 911."
Oh, yeah. And
also, I think I said her name weird when I first introduced her, didn't I? Said Jeanne.
Jeanne.
It's Jean, right?
It's Jean, yeah.
Even though it has two N's? Why do you have two N's in your name?
Listen,
Jean?
people...
You threw me off.
Throwing random N's out there.
It looks like Leanne.
Nutter. She's a nutter. But yeah, I guess she's. I think Jean was probably like 70-something years old. Because, yeah, she wasn't planning to go up there for the winter, but she did. And, like, literally because of that random decision, she goes out there and finds...
Exactly.
Jayme walking around, and all three of them knew exactly when they started. Like, you hear the 911 call, where they're like, "Are you sure?" They're like, "We're 100% sure. We're looking at a photo of her. This is her."
Exactly. Speaking of, let's go ahead and play that call. We'll see you guys on the other side.
No, I don't want to take her over.
Douglas County 911.
Hi. I have a young lady at my house right now, and she says her name is Jayme Closs.
Okay, what's your address?
It's in Gordon, Wisconsin.
Okay, have you seen her photo, ma'am?
Yes, it is her. I 100% think it is her.
Are you okay?
100%.
Does it look like she's gonna run?
No, she's sitting down. She's relaxing.
Okay, hang on just a second.
Patterson's house.
And she said her name is Jayme Closs.
Yep.
Jayme, do you know when he's gonna come back?
Who's gonna come back?
What his name is? Jake Patterson. Jake Thomas Patterson, she says.
Okay, hang on.
So we're kind of scared because he might come.
Yep.
So if the cops could get here soon, we would like.
I have many deputies headed that way. I'm going to keep you on the line.
Okay.
And she said, "I am Jayme Closs."
Yes. She said, "He killed my parents. I want to go home. Help me."
And what was the male's name?
Jake? Is it Jake? Jake Patterson? Jake Patterson.
And she said he killed her parents and she wants to go home?
Yes.
All right. So upon hearing this and finding this information, authorities naturally are looking for 21-year-old Jake Patterson.
Yeah, she has a lot of information to give them.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And Jake was living in his father's rural cabin in Gordon, Wisconsin, all by his lonesome. Mm-hmm. Sure was. Jake grew up in Wisconsin and graduated in 2015 after having a pretty uneventful high school life. He never really dated. He was prematurely balding. He had no personality, most people said. This is not my words.
Yeah.
This is, his senior quote in the yearbook was, "I'm finally done with school."
I don't like to say the words incel very often, but when you look at this guy and you hear him and you see his talks, it's like, oh man, you were like a proto incel type person, even like back in 2015. Like you were just one of those just scummy, just douchebaggy guys who blames everybody else for their problem. Like, I can't get a date because women suck.
Yep. Like, but it refuses to compromise on literally anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Now, those that knew him described Jake as quiet and said that he wasn't the type to rock the boat or really leave an impression at all. Jake loved playing board games, though, like Risk. In school, people remember Jake often talking about joining the Marines, and he actually did, but only for about 5 weeks. And if you're not familiar, Marines has a 12-week boot camp, so he almost made it halfway through boot camp.
Yeah, there we go. Almost at a halfway point.
Yeah, he was discharged during training saying that he did not meet the standards.
Oh, only took you 5 weeks to realize that?
Yeah, I just wanted to put that in there because a lot of resources quote him as a Marine, and he's not a Marine. And now, if you did boot camp, you graduate boot camp, you're technically a Marine. Mm-hmm. That's what they call you when you leave boot camp. Boom. But I mean, 5 weeks.
No,
I don't know.
You went on like a
you're 7 weeks short, bro.
Yeah, you went on like an extended stay vacation with the Marines, and you get to go training for a little bit. But nah, like I said, proto incel type guy. It's just, he wants to join the Marines, thinking he's big and tough, and that'll make him more make him more of a badass. Gets 5 weeks, gets kicked out. You're like, dude, you suck. You can't even do. Can you do a push up still? No. Right. All right, go.
Yeah. He had trouble doing a lot of stuff, man. He had trouble holding down a job. He worked a whole bunch of short jobs, even one at the factory, the old turkey factory. But in the fall of 2018, he worked for 2 days at another factory, a Saputo cheese factory in Almena, Wisconsin. Okay, he worked 2 days. And the reason it's important is on one of those days, he drove home through Barron on his way back home to his cabin, and he got behind a school bus. As he sat behind the school bus, he watched Jayme Closs walk from her home to the bus. And it was at that moment he said, I knew she was the girl I was going to take.
And literally
2 days he went through there.
He literally just saw her and made that decision. He was like, I have to get her. I have to have her.
That's literally how their worlds collided.
He did not know this girl. There was because that's another thing with all these kind of kidnapping cases. Any kind of so many kidnapping cases or violence cases like this, it's somebody who knows the victim.
Exactly.
There's somebody in this circle that has something desirable or against them.
Usually.
And the police can go off of that. This girl's been missing for months.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. There was no connections, there's any family members, any friends, any acquaintances, any neighbor. No. Like literally somebody saw her one day.
Yeah.
And just out of the blue was like, I'm taking her.
She was held captive for 88 days. Yeah.
Like, oh God.
So let's go back to when the police meet with the ladies who called 911. So at this time, Jake was getting home as well. He ended up jumping into his red Ford Taurus to follow the footprints in the snow that he saw going away from his house. And he also, quickly noticed that Jayme was gone. But as police were transporting Jayme to the station, they actually passed a red Taurus driving in the opposite direction. So they quickly pulled over the vehicle, and the driver was Jake. And before authorities could even react, he held his hands up and said, I know what this is about. I did it.
Even the worst part about it's oddly enough ironic that this time they are literally driving Jayme to the station and they pass the station, they pass him.
Yeah.
And they're able to pull him over. And on the night of the crime,
I was going to bring that up as well. Yeah.
The opposite thing happens about how little there is dash cam footage of in that 5-minute window when the 911 call goes out and the cops are on their way to that house, they pass his car, leaving the crime scene. And they even note it like on the dash cam footage, like that car is going the other way, like 55 over on the shoulder.
Yeah. Well, they pulled over. Yeah. He actually pulled over for the police because they had sirens on. And so the police thought, well, that's just what anybody does here.
Yeah, they're supposed to do that, right?
So
but they clocked it. They're like, that car's going the opposite way. Because again, this is a rural area.
I think if he would have, been flying by them and it'd been a totally different deal. But the fact that he pulled over, he act normal. But yeah, it's so creepy in hindsight to look back and think, Jayme was in the trunk.
Yeah.
Right then when he pulled over, she's in the trunk and the cops are flying by her.
Yep. And they clock him and they're like, hey guys, because they say something along the lines of like, that car is coming from the scene, from the direction. But okay, they did pull over the shoulder and let us pass, right? Like, so they know, like, okay, so didn't look like he was running or anything. So like, okay, just to clock that, okay?
Exactly. But authorities bring Jake in and he actually starts talking to them pretty quick. He tells authorities that he'd been considering taking a girl for about 2 years now. He said that he spent 1 year just fantasizing about it, and the second year, he really started to plan it for real. And Jake did just that. He made plans immediately after seeing Jayme. He told investigators that he had planned to abduct a teenage girl and that if it wasn't Jayme, it would have just been someone else. He said there was no specific reason for choosing her other than the fact that he just happened to see her getting off the bus one day and planned the abduction. He confessed that he had tried to kidnap her on 2 previous occasions, but the time just wasn't right.
No, because this man really is a coward. He is a very much like an incel bitch. He's a coward.
Yeah.
He didn't want to, like I said, the crime scene looks professional from the outside, but then you realize it's not.
No.
This man shot through the door because he knew that Jayme's dad would have beat the life out of him. Like, this is a fucking little weak ass bitch man who did not even want to face her dad. Shot him through the door so that he did not have to have that confrontation.
Right.
and then shoots her mom too in the bathtub as soon as he can.
What's crazy is he was not only that, he's completely delusional. He thinks that if I just get these people out of the picture and I just get her home with me, she'll just live this life with me.
Eventually,
we'll talk more about that, because there wasn't a sexual aspect to this kidnapping, and I think that's one of the most baffling things about this whole story.
But apparently, there was no sexual assault.
And that just leads me to more questions about his sanity. That's what I'm saying. Like, this man thought that he was going to live this fairy tale ending with this young woman who he literally murdered murdered her family and took her from. Like, it just don't make no sense.
Yeah, he thought that the Stockholm syndrome eventually would take hold.
I guess so.
And she would love and obey him. Yeah, like I said, he wanted someone to just do what he said.
Absolutely.
He wanted to control somebody completely.
Absolutely.
But for them to love him.
Yeah. Now we got a little more details. Like I said, he really spilled the beans when he got in the police office. He said he purchased a ski mask at Walmart. He shaved his head and facial hair so he wouldn't leave any hair behind. He began researching guns and decided on a 12-gauge shotgun for obvious reasons. To spray it, to inflict the most damage. And he landed on a Mossberg because this was a very common brand and would be a lot harder for police to track down. Yeah, I can't imagine how many Mossberg 12 gauges are sold in a day in America. Jesus Christ. I mean, good luck tracking that shit down.
Especially in rural Wisconsin.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. I know a Midwesterner or two right about now is going, man, I got 7 of them.
Exactly. He also made some modifications to his car, like changing license plates. He had a few stolen license plates that he'd swap out, which, came in handy for a little while.
And which he was using on the night of the crime, too.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But on October 15th, he knew this was it. He knew he wasn't leaving without Jayme, and he couldn't leave any witnesses alive inside. He told himself, it's me or them.
Oh, it was going to, if you had...
he got to that point.
If you did not have that shotgun, it would have been them. They would have beaten the life out of you.
Yeah. He told authorities that he turned his lights off and coasted into the driveway. Wearing a ski mask, steel-toe boots, and dark clothing, he went to the front door. He said to James, who was looking at him through the window, open the fucking door. Then he shot James through the window and then shot the door latch out and then entered the house. He checked the area and noticed that the bathroom door was the only door shut and not opening. Also, the bathroom door, I think, is straight out from the front door, by the way. So literally, he looked up and saw the door. He attempted to kick it down, but it wouldn't budge. So he started ramming it with his shoulder 10, 15 times maybe before the drawer in front of the door finally broke apart and he got through. And he ripped down the shower curtain once inside and found Jayme and Denise hiding there. And Denise had her arms wrapped around her daughter, holding her in a bear hug. He immediately orders Denise to gag and duct tape Jayme's mouth shut with some black Gorilla Tape that he had brought. And Jake was upset, saying that Denise was taking too long. She wasn't doing it right. So he sets down the shotgun and actually ties her up himself. And that just shows you how terrified they are of him. That neither one of them made a move for the gun. Like they're terrified. And you don't know where he said it either. I'm sure he didn't set it within reach, right? They would have had some type of altercation with him to get it, right? But he wraps the tape over Jayme's mouth and all the way completely around her head and then tapes her wrists and ankles together. Then he picks up the shotgun, he aims it at Denise's head and pulls the trigger while looking away. He told investigators that he dragged Jayme out of the house, across the yard, put her in the trunk of his car, and drove off. Like Andy said earlier, in less than 5 minutes, all this happened. And then he passed the police cars with their emergency lights and sirens on while headed away.
God, at that moment, he was pissing himself in that car.
Oh,
Seeing those cops pass him right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, when he reached his house in Gordon, Jake said he took Jayme into his bedroom and cut the tape off her, and he knew Jayme was scared because she had urinated herself. So he told her to take her clothes off, put them in a bag, and he gave her some other clothes to wear. Some reports say he gave her a pair of his sister's clothes, and others state that he just gave her some of his. But either way, he burned her clothes as well as anything that he used during the kidnapping. All that was burned in his fireplace. And he also told investigators that he created a space under his twin-size bed that sits about 2.5 to 3 feet above the ground, and that is where Jayme lived for 88 days. Whenever he would leave the house, he said he would place plastic totes, barbells, free weights all around the bed so she couldn't escape. And right,
it is
horrifying.
It's like a fucking Law and Order SVU like episode.
It is. It's absolutely terrifying. And if he ever thought she was going to escape, he would just use scare tactics. He would punch the walls. He would scream. He would cause a scene. Whatever he had to do to scare her into submissiveness. And it wasn't just when they were sleeping or when he left that Jayme was under the bed. Jake would even have friends and relatives come visit him at the house. And Jayme would be under the bed the whole time. And he would just threaten her. If she made any noise or attempted to get out, he would hurt her.
Yeah. And she, again, this is a 13-year-old girl.
She doesn't know. And she also doesn't know the allegiances of his guests.
Yeah, she does
what if
not.
she shows herself and then now it's 2-on-1?
Yeah, this could be a whole situation of much worse if she does make herself known. And she knows that this man has just murdered both of her parents in front of her.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. And what's crazy is Jake's father visited him every Saturday. And Jake would just turn up the radio in his bedroom to hide any noise that Jayme might make. He trusted that she was fearful enough she wouldn't scream or give him away. And Jake's family said that he never acted strangely at this time. If anything, he was acting jolly, cheerful, like he was on an uptick.
Said he was happier during this time,
because he's living this weird little fantasy in his head.
Exactly.
Yeah. So later, Jayme told investigators that he would make her stay under the bed for up to 12 hours at a time with no food, water, or bathroom breaks. And he said once that he hit her really hard in the back with the handle of a tool used to clean window blinds. I don't know what the hell that is.
Like maybe like a duster type thing?
I guess. I mean, like, yeah, what? Wait, a duster? But it was weird. But this was when she tried to get out from under the bed, and he told her if he caught her trying to do it again, he'd make the punishment worse. And then there were other moments during her time in captivity where that were shared between Jayme and Jake, like when they took walks together, with Jake, of course, around the yard on occasion. The two played board games, and one time Jake even brought back Starbucks for her. So he told the authorities that they both talked a lot, but never went into full details about the murder of her parents because he says he felt too guilty to talk about it.
This man is so just like, he's so warped and disgusting about these things. He's like, I mean, I had to do it, but like, I just feel so bad about it. Like,
right.
But like, I'm like, I just I had to do it because I wanted to take her.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel so bad about it.
So bad about it. Yeah, he said he felt so guilty that one night he drank himself into a stupor, and he promised that if she wrote a letter to her aunt, that he would send it. However, the following day, when he sobered up, he said, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that, actually.
No.
Actually, you don't get any contact with the outside world. Yeah,
no.
Dang.
And the fact that it was so torn up. He got drunk one time. It's like, dude, no, you fucked up a lot.
Yeah, you did. He also admitted that he did have sexual fantasies regarding his victim and that they slept in the same bed, but he said that he was too guilty to act on it after what he did.
I mean, again, there were no sexual assault charges placed in the case. There was nothing. There was no deep investigation that had to go into interviewing Jayme. She did not have to give like a testimony of everything.
That was part of the way he was trying to win the court over in the end.
Yeah, him
like,
just
I'm trying to
pleading guilty.
save an investigation.
I don't want her to put it through. I don't want to have to put her through that. I already put her through so much. You're gonna get shanked.
Yeah,
but he's fucking bullshitting this whole time too.
Yeah,
like I'll give you some free time. No, you won't.
No. But on January 10th, 2019, Jayme took her own free time because Jake told her that he'd be gone for a few hours. And he left the home in Gordon to apply for a job at a liquor distributor. Jayme told investigators that when he left the house on that Thursday, he told her he'd be gone for 5 to 6 hours. So when he pulls out the drive, she immediately gets to work, starts pushing out the bins, kicking them out, whatever she's got to do. Puts on a pair of of Jake's New Balances and made her break for freedom, ending almost 3 months in captivity, 88 days.
Mm-hmm. And again, she is in a place she does not know. She's 13 years old, out in a rural cabin, basically.
Yeah. She has
in the
no
middle
idea
of
where
winter.
she is. Exactly. In March of 2019, after Jake was arrested, he confessed and pled guilty to all accounts. And he seemed truly remorseful, but I mean, he's also delusional.
Yeah.
Barron County Circuit Judge James Babler, he said to Jake, "There is no doubt in my mind you are one of the most dangerous men to ever walk on this planet. You are the embodiment of evil, and the public can only be safe if you are incarcerated until you die."
Yeah. I mean, like I said, again, that's the same judge who also made the comment about, like, you're one of the worst, like the worst criminal or worst convict I've seen in the state and all of its history.
Of Wisconsin? Are you sure?
Of Wisconsin?
The worst? Are you sure?
Did you like annex Milwaukee?
You want to think about that for a second?
Did you forget that?
Exactly. But defense lawyer Charles Glenn, he said his client is truly sorry and has shown that by pleading guilty to all charges and foregoing a trial, saving the taxpayers millions of dollars and countless hours of potential witness testimonies, that, he should be eligible for parole. Oh, that's all they're trying to do, right?
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, you have no chance.
He feels bad about it, guys.
Yeah.
He won't do it
Come
again.
on. But
right?
Barron County District Attorney Brian Wright urged Babler not to believe Patterson is remorseful at all. He said the case was only solved because Jayme did not obey his commands. Mm-hmm. He didn't. And he's right. That's the fact about it. How long were you planning to keep her?
Yeah, you had her for 88 days. And
right?
You didn't, there was no sign or like any kind of inclination that you were going to return her or let her go. So it's not like you weren't feeling bad enough to let her go yourself.
No.
So you only feel bad because she escaped.
Exactly. So he was convicted of 2 counts of murder and 1 count of kidnapping and sentenced to 2 life sentences plus 40 years in a New Mexico prison. Meanwhile, these days, Jayme lives with her aunt, trying her best to live a normal life. However, Jayme and the other members of her family all say they still have nightmares about that night. In 2019, a reporter from KARE 11, Lou Raguse, sent him a letter in prison, Jake that is, and Jake wrote him back. He said, here's some of the questions, right? So question 1, why did you confess when you were caught, and why did you confess in such detail? Jake said, I knew when I was caught, which I thought would happen a lot sooner, I wouldn't fight anything. I tried to give them everything. Pen scribble redaction. He took something out of there. And then it says, wasn't completely honest, so they didn't have to interview Jayme. They did anyways and hurt her more for no reason. Wow. I love how he can see how that could harm her, but holding her for 88 days against her will and killing her parents in front of her.
Yeah, they did way worse than that.
Exactly. Question number 4. Do you have any, or was it question? Why did they skip right to 4? I don't know. They called it question 4. It says, do you have any remorse or regrets for the things that you did? He says, huge amounts. I can't believe I did this. Then what was your long-term plan if Jayme had not escaped that day? That's my question, right?
Yeah.
But he says, won't say. It was really stupid, though, looking back.
God, I was literally laughing because there's a few more in the documentary that I watched. There's a little bit more of like some of his letter that he wrote to the courtroom.
He was pissed. The judge didn't read all of it.
Yeah, I think you actually have it in the sources. There, the letter that he wrote to the court. And there's a section where he writes in there, and I was kind of laughing to myself when I was watching it. I was like, man, this guy writes and kind of like Donald Trump tweets. And I kind of I was like, even some of his responses, if you look at the way he talks and some of his, go back up to the where you even wrote the pen scribble thing. Yeah. If you read some of the things that he wrote as Donald Trump, you're like, actually, this kind of just sounds like a Truth Social post. Insert. He's just like, no one will believe me or can even imagine how sorry I am for hurting Jayme this much. I can't even express it. I'm so sorry, Jayme, for everything. I know it doesn't mean much. Even the other was with the pen scribble where they tried to back.
It's the diction, right? It's
He
the way
puts
he talks.
he puts in like parentheses a bunch of times around shit where he's like, he'll say things like, police messed up here. They don't know how to do job.
Yeah.
And like puts it in like, he literally talks like these things. And I'm like, I have seen so many goddamn Truth Social posts recently that I'm like, I feel like this guy was onto something beforehand.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's freaking hilarious. You're right. Now that you point that out.
yeah, go back up to the previous one where it was the I knew when I was caught, which I thought would happen a lot sooner. I wouldn't fight anything. I tried to give them everything. I wasn't completely honest though. These are parentheses. Wasn't completely honest. So they did have to interview Jayme. They did anyways, and they hurt her more for no reason. No reason. Like just starts throwing the blame on other people, especially. Like he does that a bunch. Where he's like, the police fucked up. They did it way worse.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Like,
It's unreal, dude.
I did genuinely chuckle a bit when I was just like, man, this guy writes or talks like Donald Trump tweets.
Yeah. Yeah, he was truly delusional. He really thought he was going to this girl was going to fall in love with him once she had no one else to depend on, right?
Yeah, once he isolated her completely.
Yeah, from the rest of the world, then, she would depend and rely on him, and then he would have this little housewife who took care of his little cabin, and he went and hopped from job to job. I don't know.
He also didn't have a job at this point,
right? They don't even have a job, man. Get your job first.
Already left the cheese factory there for 2 days. Obviously, that didn't work out.
Right?
Couldn't get a job at the turkey factory. That just felt weird. It's like this guy can't get a. Yeah, this guy is. I do say like kind of incel very much. So like he is just this little pasty bitch guy who couldn't make it in the army because he did not meet the crime. Like they're like, listen, kid, you suck. Like I gotta tell you. Right. I know it's like the whole like we want mostly everybody but you, not you. We want not so much you. We got enough people. Not you.
You know how you were talking about he was going to get shanked in prison. Mm-hmm. He has been attacked a few times, and there are some that have actually been caught on camera, and they've been released on YouTube. There was a little scuffle he got into where this guy, you see this guy, obviously it's all silenced, right? You can't tell what they're saying, but this guy comes up and says something to him and like bumps his shoulder. And then when he turns around, the guy just like freaking jumps on him. And they like both got each other in kind of like a headlock type deal. And they're both like punching each other. And then a guard comes and breaks them up. And then they're both on the ground, right? But yeah, so he's not having an easy go of it.
No, not at all.
As he shouldn't.
No, because nobody in prison, I guarantee you, believes I didn't touch her. I fucking don't think they believe that, dog.
She was 13 years old, too.
You kept her for 88 days under your bed?
Yeah.
Or in your bed? Oh, but I didn't want to act on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody in prison's buying that.
Right.
So,
yeah,
tough luck, man. It's going to be a hard 40 plus life years.
I could see the authorities and the media going with that, though, just to save Jayme, too, right? I mean, regardless, nothing happened.
Yeah, and the fact that
she has to carry on with her life. She has to keep living. So
they've kind of let her live her life after this. They have not kind of forced her into the spotlight. She did not have to go out and testify and be in the court.
She did write a letter for the court.
Yeah, she did.
Very heartfelt letter, very mature for her age. Yeah, I mean, she's been through a lot.
Yeah, she grew up pretty fast.
Very.
But yeah, I do not feel bad for his sympathies in the courtroom and his emotion. No, he only feels bad because he got caught.
Yeah, he does.
And he can't even what was your plan? If she had not escaped, won't say. Won't say what your plan was? Oh, so you had more of a plan.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's like, oh, you only feel bad because she got out.
Because if you say, it will cancel out everything you've already said about being remorseful. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, Andy, if you're truly remorseful, you would have let her go.
Yeah. You would have let her go.
Simple as that.
You would have done something. You would have had some signs that you're like, I don't want to be keeping you. I shouldn't be doing this. But no, he was putting her under the bed for 12 hours a day. He was pushing it further.
He was.
So.
He was. Didn't let her have anything. Not even any Oh My God.
Ooh, unfortunately, no.
No.
Under that
maybe
bed,
if he would get some, maybe he'd get a date.
I bet, he might have made a dent in some of that. Maybe you have no personality and nothing going for you, and you're really ugly, and you got shit to everything else, no job. But hey,
you smell good.
You smell pretty good.
You smell good. Is that true Crimepine I smell on you?
Ooh, sandalwood.
Right? Ooh, nice. Oh My Guy is an innovative all-natural deodorant, fragrance, and beard oil company specializing in paraben and aluminum-free products. And there's a ton of scents to choose from. There's vanilla, cherry almond, sandalwood, like Andy mentioned, lavender, lemongrass, Egyptian musk, coconut, dreamsicle, leather, lumberjack, honeysuckle, fireside, bergamot, amber, and so much more, guys, including our own True Crimepine. And because you're True Crime Guys listeners, you can use the word Crimepine, Crimepine, no spaces, for 15% off your order at ohmygaia.com. That's ohmygaia.com. And again, that keyword is Crimepine. 15% off. Right below the description of this episode is a link. Don't forget it. Also, a link to Patreon, patreon.com/True Crime Guys. The best way to support what we're doing here at True Crime Guys Productions. You can get access to these episodes early, ad-free, with some bonus content, as well as an entire back catalog of episodes, 200 plus of old episodes. If you're wondering where those are, they're all on Patreon. They're all in the vault. And as well as every audio file we've ever recorded. Tons of crime stories told in all sorts of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of shooting the shit as well.
Sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of banter in there.
Just the banter.
A lot of it. But guys, thank you so much. Give us a follow on social media at True Crime Guys, wherever you are. We're on TikTok now, at True Crime Guys.
We do have a TikTok.
True.crime.guys.
I think we had one at one point, right? I think it fell apart.
We're back. So yeah, give us a follow on TikTok, guys, if you will, and you stay up to date. We just share clips from the show, funny moments and this and that. All right, I think that's pretty much it, Andy.
I don't think so. I hope everybody had a happy holiday or happy Thanksgiving if you celebrated it. Got Christmas coming up, other holidays.
Lord.
Have a good week. Have a good winter time.
That's
Stay
right.
warm, everybody.
That's right, guys, and don't forget to keep on creeping.
Bye.